I'm Lexi Schrempp, and this is my issue response self-evaluation. Before the speech, I was still nervous. I think it's impossible to not be nervous before you give a speech. And it was also the longest speech in the biggest grade, so I felt like I had to practice a lot and make sure I knew my information very well. After the speech, I was very relieved and I was quite satisfied with how I did. I incorporated a lot of research into the speech, so I had to make sure I read over my information very carefully. One thing that I feel I did well in this speech was incorporating my research. I studied my case studies, and I also added a lot of expert testimonies into my speeches, which I felt helped enhance my speech. One thing that I feel like I could improve for my next speech is gestures and body movement. I know in all my self-evaluations I always say the same thing, but I feel like once I'm in front of a crowd, it's kind of hard to not freeze up a little bit. So I hope for next speeches to be able to calm myself down a bit more, since the last speech is a little bit shorter, and to be able to focus more on my audience and my body movements rather than what I'm going to say next. If I were to grade myself on this speech, I feel like I would get a B. I did have a lot of research. I practiced this speech a lot more because it was also the biggest grade, and it was also important because I had a partner, so we had to talk to each other and make sure that we knew what we were going to say. I feel like also I did a good job in this speech because afterwards I asked my audience how they felt about my speech, and they said it was very interesting and that they also could relate to it. So I feel as a persuasive speech that I did the right job.